Hi folks, it's Mark. It's December 29th. Just want to make a short video today. It's 7 degrees out today. I just couldn't resist getting down here to cut some wood down at the woodpile. So I'm just going to make a quick video, show you my setup down here. And yeah, lots of videos out there, people cutting wood, guys cutting wood, so I'm not gonna bother with that. But I just want to just show you how I get my firewood put up for the season, and show you around a little bit. This is the other property down here in the southern part of Ontario. We're also on the escarpment here. Take you down on the mountain there and show you what that looks like. So different part of the escarpment, not up on the Bruce today, but yeah, thought you'd like to come along for a few minutes anyway and have a look. All right. Yeah, so this is how I like to do things. This is my current setup. That changes as my equipment changes. Right now I'm splitting into these plastic totes, and I've got some cages also from the IBC water, I guess, or chemical storage, whatever you have stored in those. I get those. I've been getting some of those for free, so I've been using those cages. And yeah, this wood pile I got last year, or log pile I should say. I got this last year. This came down from Stratford, Ontario, and that's usually where my logs come from, unless I'm doing enough tree work where I can generate it myself. You can hear the wind in the background. It seems like it's been lots of days of wind up here and temperature extremes. We got through the storm there before Christmas, and that was a real windy one. And today's no different, but we're sitting at about 7 degrees, so that southwest wind is bringing in the warmer temperatures. So that's why I'm down here today, take advantage of that. So this pile started off probably twice as large. Generally, this is the third time I've done this from Stratford, and I get about 50 face cords out of it. So last year I cut half of that approximately. So I've got about 25 or so left to go. I've been cutting on it a little bit this year. I don't generally cut in the summertime. I don't have time between being up at the other property and my business. I don't usually have time in the summer, but I always like to look forward to having some logs down here to come down and work on, either on the weekend or as time allows. I always look forward to that. So yeah, that's what I got going here. And this is the kit that I bring with me when I'm cutting on the log pile. So I've got a wrecking bar, and then a cant hook, and then I don't always bring 2 saws, but I like to make sure that saws are getting some use. I don't like having fuel sitting in them for a long time. So today I brought the steel, the 441, and I've got a 25-inch bar on that, and then I've got the 261 with the 18-inch bar. So usually the 261 is the saw that I bring for firewood, but there is a few bigger logs there I see that I'll be cutting first. So yeah, give the 441 a workout with the bigger bar. What else I got? Hearing protection, safety glasses, just some work gloves. That's my measuring stick that I use, and a piece of chalk, and then my backpack that goes with me everywhere. And won't be using the helmet today with the ear protection. I'm just gonna go with the safety glasses and the earmuffs instead. A few snacks, some water, but that's typically what I bring with me. I may bring the gas and oil. Lots of times when I've only got a short period of time, I'll just fill up the saw at home and come down and cut a tank full and stack that up, and it feels like I've accomplished something. So that's the kit. Just taking a little break here, and before I roll off the next few logs off that pile. I never like to leave the pile looking kind of unsafe like that, in case someone comes along, decides they want to climb all over it, take some YouTube videos, and get hurt. So I'll knock down that big log and see what we got left for time today, if I can keep going or not. Just looking over there in the far distance, catch that or not. That was my grandparents' house. You see a bit of a white farmhouse standing there still, and then beside that there's a roof line of my aunt and uncle's place. This is where I grew up. My grandparents owned 18 acres there on that property, fruit farm. So I grew up on the farm, helping with the fruit picking and all the other jobs to go along with that. Then we got grapes in kind of the foreground. Yeah, this used to be known as the Fruit Belt, part of southern Ontario. Okay, folks. Well, there we go. That's 3 rows, about 12 feet long each row, and 4 to 5 feet tall before I ran out of fuel. So a good couple hours of work cutting and stacking, and now ready for the splitter. Got into this big maple, and yeah, that was it. Ran out of fuel, so I'll call her a day at that. And got some nice logs ahead of me. A couple big ones. I quartered them up. Oak, big oak. I feel like lifting all that up there. So, yeah, sun's gone, but we'll go for a walk. Go for a walk down to the property. Okay, so yeah, we got a little bit of firewood down here. Got a few years worth stacked up and drying. I've said before in my other videos, I like to stay 3 years ahead. Not all the wood that's down here is mine. Majority of it is right now, though. This property belongs to my good friend Martin, and he's nice enough to let me use it as it's my own. And I've been doing that for a number of years now. And everyone kind of chips in and takes care of it together. It's kind of like a community space. It's such a nice area down here, so quite often neighbors are down here on their golf carts and going for hikes. This area across here is where we plant some additional raised gardens in the summertime. It's what the dirt is just mounded up for now. We've cleared out this spot of the gardens. Got one left there. That's a potato garden usually. But then we just build up the raised gardens, and then in the fall, after we've finished with them, we just mount everything back up, and any weeds or whatnot that's in there, just let it decompose over the winter time. Yeah, quite a bit of wood here. Got some skid storage here. I use that for my business, welding business, and just a big mess there of older wood that the bark's falling off of that I've been cleaning up as we go. I found out that sometimes when you store firewood under trees, and these are walnuts, that the leaves and debris can kind of build up on top of the wood. It doesn't really allow it to dry out as well as it would if it was sitting in an open space. So yeah, I kind of made a mess of the wood, but this will be gone after this winter, a lot of this stuff. A couple more of the totes and cages. Getting rid of those water tanks. Someone's come from the water tanks. I don't need them, so those are up on Kijiji. And I got a couple more cages down here, which is nice. Just some more skids. I cut skid wood when I can collect it up and use that as kindling. And then that pile there is skid wood. And then I did a big job with Martin a couple of years ago on a big willow tree. So we hauled all that wood back here and ended up with about 10 cords of willow, of all things. But it burns nice. It's hot. It's light. You know, you're not going to have a long-lasting fire, but for a quick fire, take the chill off, or when you're getting the fire started, nothing wrong with that. Pine, spruce, all that, it's all in there. Mostly willow though. So this is the neighbor Mike, the other neighbor. This is his kind of junkier wood. There's cedar posts from the grapes in there, and lots of little offcuts and some skid wood as well. This is my wood for this year. Once it gets cold, next couple months, I figure there's 12 to 14 face cord in there under wraps. It was drying for about 3 years, and I got it tarped up. So I've been waiting for the really cold weather to get into that stuff. Yeah, this is more of Mike's wood. He retired last couple of years, so he's been going at it hard. He's got some nice wood here, mostly ash. There's a little, I don't know, 8x8 or so that everyone pitched in on last year and made. Martin and the other neighbor, Mark, and I supplied the windows. That was my contribution, and the frames. And these guys threw this together. Just a nice little spot to come down and get out of the weather. And yeah, look at that. Beautiful. That's Lake Ontario out there. This is Niagara Escarpment, and we call it the mountain. So, yeah, it's a terrible day now. The weather sure has changed. The wind is howling, and it's cooling down. But nevertheless, it's nice being down here. Got some of my welding stored to deliver to the customer. Some cedar rails. I do some chainsaw milling. So I've got a piece of, this is maple with a lot of spalting in it. So I'm going to try to mill this and then stabilize it with epoxy, do some cutting boards, see what comes of that. That's ambrosia maple. So I'm hoping the spalting is going to be like extra special in there. Yeah, more wood, more skids. It just goes on and on. There's 23 acres down here, and this is a road access that Martin made that goes down to the Bruce Trail. And for years and years, him and I have been going over the mountain and down into that forested area and cutting dead ash trees. He owns a certain amount of acreage down to the Bruce Trail, so that was the road that he put in to access that. So it's been a lot of fun. We've got 23 acres here, and it's been in the family a long time. Martin's wife and her brother, their grandparents were Empire Loyalists, so a very rich and old family history. This is Martin's wood shack. We call it the mayor's office. Everyone who lives in this area knows Martin. He's the mayor of this our little town up here. So this is the mayor's office, and he's 85. He's got all his years marked out still. How many years ahead he's got his firewood? So that's 88. So he's got lots of wood in here, lots of years of burning left ahead of him. And yeah, I think that's about 12 feet deep, and you get in there about 6 feet, and you're just surrounded by by wood, and it smells amazing. It's just wonderful back in there. So, yeah, pretty nice place. We spent a lot of time down here over the years, Martin and I, cutting wood and hanging out and talking. And he's got some beautiful ash wood in there, all cut and split. All from around here. He doesn't buy loads anymore. He used to, but this is all wood from around here. Lots of stuff that we've hauled up over the mountain over the years. Yeah, just a little tin shed, ropes and whatnot in there. Piles of chips from the chipper, and do big brush pile, big burns down here. Everyone kind of around this area brings their brush down and have a big fire. So yeah, this is my little piece of heaven down here that I share with a number of other people, and out of the goodness of his heart, Martin lets me use it. Like I said, like it's my own. I'll trim down here, keep the weeds knocked down. Everyone takes turns cutting the grass. It's a real special place. Probably the one reason that's kept me sane down here in the soup of southern Ontario is coming back here, because you feel like you're 1,000 miles away from anything. Other than being up north, this is about as good as it gets, I would say. Just do a little walk back in here. I don't know what I have in here. 50, 60 face cords of wood, maybe more. All mixed, hardwood. This is the newer stuff over here, so I'll just work my way over. So yeah, good couple years away before I get over here based on what I burn every year. And I'm not really selling wood nearly as much as I used to, so I don't have to have so much ahead. Back when I was selling 20, 30, 40 face cords every season, you needed to have a really large stockpile of wood. But, just time and yeah, just a different view on things now, on the importance of using your time. Probably do a video down the road, just talk about the economics of firewood in today's market for energy, and still people ask if it's worth it. I'll break down some numbers for you in a future video, and then you can decide whether it's worth it, something that you're interested in. Okay, folks, so that's it for today. I'll head her back to the truck, and I look forward to a nice lunch. Throw some wood on the fire. The house is probably in the high 70s right now, and no wind in there, and pretty cozy. Have a little break. Sometimes it's hard to go out after that little break. You get pretty comfortable after work in the morning, and when that wind's blowing. Yeah, a lot of hard work in there. A lot of fun work for me. Break from my usual work that I'm having to do every day, day in and day out. This is my getaway down here. I always look forward to playing around with the wood, either cutting or splitting. Handling, not so much. You do a lot of handling with firewood, but definitely like running the saws and splitting, and like working with Martin, and looking after the equipment. So this is the dream for me up north. Someday on my own property. I won't be buying loads of logs anymore. Probably be selling to some people up there. But that's the idea anyway. It's just a good life. Got a lot to be thankful for. No doubt about it. Okay, folks, that's going to be it for this year. I know it is. I'll get this posted up, and we'll see you in 2023. Okay, take care.